Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to News 3 Now live at 4 on this Tuesday. All day people have been saying, it's only Tuesday?
I know.
I think it's the weather, maybe.
It's warm and getting hotter,
yeah,
too.
It's going to be a hot weekend. We'll get to the weather in just a minute. But first, here's what's making news on this Tuesday. Charges have been filed more than a year after a 13-year-old girl was found dead in Iowa County.
And House lawmakers are voting on a multi-billion-dollar humanitarian aid package for the border. We'll share the latest from D.C.
Let's take a look outside. Some noontime showers moved through, but then the sun came back out. Monona Terrace looking very pretty on this Tuesday. Everybody out for lunch. The weather word's starting to heat up, and Dana is in the backyard and really heat up.
Really heat up by the weekend. Right now, though, it's not too bad outside. Actually, I ditched Gary in the weather office and was sitting out here on the patio for a little bit this afternoon. Now, we did have those storms slide through earlier today. It did trigger watches and some warnings for us in Rock County, but as you can see right now, the rain pretty much out of here, still dealing with a few showers towards Milwaukee, but we aren't expecting anything to come through the rest of the evening. In fact, we have a mostly clear sky, a bit of a breeze right now, but otherwise not too bad. We're at about 79 in Madison. We've jumped quite a bit. When those showers came through, we were close to 70. And now we're, of course, near 80 degrees for us. Compared to this time yesterday, it's quite a jump, at about 11-degree jump for us in Madison, a 10-degree jump in Monroe. Looking through the next few hours, our temperatures are going to fall through the 70s this evening. Overnight lows will be in the low 60s for us heading into tomorrow morning. I do want to take a look at traffic very quickly. No accidents to report. Here's the Beltline at Park Street. Of course, the eastbound side started seeing delays about 10-15 minutes ago as more folks hopped on the road. The westbound side not looking too bad right now. Those speeds along the eastbound side, though, reduced down to about 30 to 40 miles per hour the closer you get towards Fish Hatchery Road to John Nolan. Along the Isthmus, things are actually going fairly smoothly. 27 minutes to get from Janesville to the Beltline. Sauk City to Middleton will be about 16 minutes this evening. And then to get from Sun Prairie to downtown, bad news, we just add another minute. It's about an 18-minute drive for you. Make sure you have the shades because it is very sunny outside right now. But again, probably not going to need the windshield wiper blades for your drive home this evening.
All right, we'll check back in a few minutes. Thank you, Dana.
Good. Thank you, Dana. First at 4, it's been more than a year since the death of 13-year-old Selah Caden in Iowa County, and now 2 women have been charged in her death.
And we are learning more about what could have caused it. The autopsy revealed she died from homicidal smothering, suffocation, and blunt force pattering beating. Lori Berry and her daughter Alexa Berry are being charged with first-degree reckless homicide as a party to a crime. According to the criminal complaint, when Selah started having emotional and behavioral issues, Caden's parents in North Carolina sent her here to live with the Berrys for the summer. Lori told investigators that while Selah was here, she would get angry, throw herself on the ground, and pretend to faint, leading to bruises and injuries. On May 31st, Lori says she hit her head hard. She died later that night. A forensic pathologist also found possible restraint marks on her wrists, extensive limb trauma, and abrasions that were not consistent with falling.
Assembly Republicans are making dozens of last-minute changes to the GOP-written budget today before voting on it tonight. They're calling on Governor Tony Evers to sign the document, but he's staying tight-lipped.
Floor debate has been underway in the Assembly for about 4 hours now. Governor Evers' office says he is reviewing an amendment Assembly Republicans introduced today, making 31 changes to the budget, including slightly reducing property tax increases, allowing Tesla to sell electric vehicles directly in Wisconsin, and making slight word changes to make it harder for Evers to use his line-item veto power. Republicans continue to tout Wisconsin's strong economy and their ability to fund the state's priorities without raising taxes.
Meanwhile, Democrats say the budget falls short in many areas like K-12 education, road funding, and Medicaid, and tried to bring back many of the governor's priorities today, but those amendments were rejected. Governor Evers is still not saying today whether he'll veto or line-item veto the budget. Floor debate in the Assembly is scheduled to go until 10 o'clock tonight, when the full chamber will vote on the budget and send it to the state Senate.
President Trump says that he has picked his replacement for press secretary for replacing Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Melania Trump's spokeswoman, Stephanie Grisham, will take over the job as well as take on the role of communications director. She'll continue to be the First Lady's communication director, a position she's held for the last 2 years. She's been with the Trump team longer than anyone else in the White House.
Tensions are escalating between the U.S. and Iran following new sanctions targeting Iran's leadership. Iranian President Hassan Rouhani is lashing out at President Trump, calling the new U.S. sanctions outrageous and idiotic. President Trump tweeted, "Iran's very ignorant and insulting statement put out today only shows that they do not understand reality. Any attack by Iran on anything American will be met with great and overwhelming force." The latest sanctions target Iran's supreme leader and 8 Iranian military commanders. Iran's foreign ministry says the measure equals a permanent closure for diplomacy.
When they're ready, they'll let us know. Very simple.
Ready to negotiate, you mean?
Ready to do whatever. Doesn't make any difference. Whatever they want to do, I'm ready.
You cannot start a dialogue with somebody who is threatening you, who is intimidating you.
President Trump has warned any military conflict would result in Iran's obliteration, but he also says he wants to let the sanctions take effect first.
Congress is hoping to pass a multi-billion-dollar humanitarian aid package for the border ahead of the July recess. Democrats want to include higher care standards for migrants in custody, following reports of children lacking food and basic sanitation at a facility in Texas. Natalie Brand has more from Capitol Hill, where the House could vote on a bill as early as today.
Immigration advocates loudly demonstrated on Capitol Hill, where lawmakers raced to pass a $4.5 billion emergency funding bill for the southern border.
We got to get some aid to these poor children. You read about this, it just wrenches your heart.
House Democrats want the package to include stricter standards for the health and safety of migrants in custody, following reports of children at a facility in Clint, Texas, lacking food and basic supplies such as soap.
What we want to make sure is that when we provide the funding, that this cruel treatment of children at the border comes to an end.
Health and Human Services officials tell CBS News 249 children have been moved out of that facility, while another 100 children were moved out but are now back. Tuesday, the head of Customs and Border Protection, Acting Commissioner John Sanders, said he's resigning. A senior administration official tells CBS News Acting ICE Director Mark Morgan will be taking over.
Those Border Patrol stations are not designed for kids.
Congress is trying to get something passed before leaving for the July 4th recess. The Senate version of this bill has bipartisan support, but Republican leaders say they oppose the House version and warn the president will veto it.
We're trying to get the Democrats to agree to really give us some humanitarian aid, humanitarian money.
Without the supplemental funding package, agencies say they will run out of money to deal with the surge of migrants at the southern border next month. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
More local news now. The Diocese of Madison has installed a new bishop.
Bishop Donald Hying officially became the 5th bishop in diocese history in a mass today at St. Maria Goretti Church on Madison's west side. Eric Franke is here now with more details. Eric?
Susan and Mark, it was a packed church at Maria Goretti. It is truly a return home for the 55-year-old Wisconsin-born Bishop Hying. This is always a special moment in any diocese when a new bishop takes over. Bishop Hying proudly sharing at the Mass with parishioners and guests the letter he had received from Pope Francis a few months back notifying him of this move from the Bishop of Gary, Indiana. There's the letter there, making the move to Madison, where he will oversee an 11-county region of the diocese, leading nearly 200,000 Catholics ready to embrace the unique, outspoken culture of the Madison Diocese.
Please do not ever be afraid to approach me, challenge me, tell me hard truths, or ask me to do things. Because I'm here to serve with all of you. Be with you.
The Marquette alum grew up in New Berlin, but has plenty of family who still lives in the Madison Diocese. He succeeds the late Robert Morlino, who passed away late last year. Now, one of the legacies of Bishop Morlino is that he ordained 40 men to the priesthood. 24 more were seminarians at the time of his death. Bishop Hying will ordain some of them on Friday at Maria Goretti, his first ordination mass as a new era begins for the Diocese of Madison. Susan and Mark.
It is a new era. Thank you, Eric.
You're welcome.
Badger football fans will have a chance to take a non-stop flight to see the team take on the Ohio State Buckeyes in October. United is offering a non-stop flight from Madison to Columbus, Ohio on October 25th and returning October 27th. It'll be a larger plane than United usually flies out of Madison. The game is on October 26th. If you'd like to go, tickets are on sale now.
That's kind of fun.
It is kind of fun, yeah.
Well, still to come at 4, we'll meet some students in Monroe helping other students out.
They're doing something good, and our Charlotte DeLeste will be here to share their story when Live at 4 continues. The vaping epidemic among teenagers is raising concerns about nicotine addiction.
The city of San Francisco intends to do something about it by banning sales altogether, making it the first U.S. city to do so. The ordinance says, quote, no person shall sell or distribute an electronic cigarette to a person in San Francisco. The only exception is if the FDA approves the e-cigarette product, then it can be sold. But to date, none have been approved. And good news for online shoppers, Amazon Prime Day will run for 2 days this year.
It starts Monday, July 15th at 3 a.m. Eastern Time and will run for 48 hours. This is the 5th ever Prime Day, where you can find more than 1 million deals on the website. The sales event draws loyal customers, but it also brings in new ones to its $119 annual free shipping program. Amazon announced today that some products like Toshiba TVs are already on sale.
The Federal Reserve announced today it's taking a wait-and-see attitude on interest rates, and investors on Wall Street didn't care for that news. The Dow Industrials lost 179 points, closing at 26,548. The NASDAQ Composite Index dropped 120, and the S&P 500 was off almost 28.
Well, we all probably think we know what it means to be kind.
But Charlotte Deleste found some area kids who are truly showing us what it means to do just that. And Charlotte's here now with more on this story.
I'm going to tell you, you're going to love this story. Giving to others, caring for others, they're what makes us human. And a handful of kids in Monroe are learning that doing something good for others does them some good as well.
As the school year comes to an end, something new and exciting is just beginning.
Sometimes I don't think we give them enough credit for what their capabilities are.
These fifth graders have been spending a lot of time in the principal's office lately, and not because they're in any trouble.
We gave up lunches and recesses.
And why on earth would they do that?
Because I wanted to make sure that everybody's feeling included in the school and everybody's being kind.
Ah, there it is, being kind. That's the idea behind a new kindness club at Northside Elementary. It was founded by this young man, Jashawn Brightsman, after watching a video with his mom of students in another state doing something good for a classmate.
He then said, "Mom, could I do this at Northside?" And I said, "Well, I don't know why not."
After getting Principal Amy's blessing and support, Jashawn recruited fellow fifth graders Anna, Eli, and Chloe to join the club.
At one point, I tried to write an agenda, and that was crumpled up and thrown in the garbage. He's like, "Mom, we've got this."
And do they ever?
Someone special who's...
They made a video to show everyone what the Kindness Club is all about. Each student in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th grades nominated a classmate to be recognized, letting them know they are valued, they have worth, and they're seen for who and what they truly are.
I get to make a kid happy when they don't really feel like anyone doesn't really think about them.
After 2 months of missing those all-important lunches and recess, the club members are surprising the 3 students with special baskets filled with gifts, personally selected just for them. Oh, and the 4 do-gooders here raised all the money for that, too.
I woke up really happy because I wanted to inspire more people to be kind and generous.
Shannon Weber. Hello, 4th graders. We are the Kindness Club. We see you, you matter. So can the following 4th grader please come up? Lian Trong.
Everything went better than planned.
She is kind to everyone, and if someone is hurt, she helps them. So Jade Tran, could you come and receive your basket?
But they didn't anticipate this.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Yeah.
This is what knowing how valued you are did to Jade, a 3rd grader.
Oh, you would think that I knew it. You gotta look carefully here at what you're getting.
She finally got recognized, and she got recognized for what she does.
I'm so proud of them. I mean, this to me is what school is really all about. It's about kind acts, it's developing that character.
And along with the physical gifts comes another gift, perhaps even a lesson.
Everyone can be kind to others. It's not just adults that can do kindness or that can give kindness, and it's not something that you have to do once in a while. It's something that you can do every day.
This opened my eyes to the fact that there are so many good, wonderful kids if we give them the opportunity.
You know, we can work on reading and math, and those are all very important. However, this is the stuff that really matters.
Jashawn, Anna, Eli, and Chloe, thank you all for doing something so good and so kind, and please keep it going. If you know a person, business, or organization doing something good, I'd love to hear about it. Fill out a nomination at channel3000.com/do-something-good.
You know what I love about this is they took the initiative and did this on their own.
Exactly.
It wasn't an assignment, it wasn't a prodding by an adult.
And it was like at the last 2 months of school. You know, they graduated from elementary school, and what's cool about this, too, is that the students who received these gifts, so the one in 3rd and 4th grade, they're now going to be part of the board of the Kindness Club so they can continue it for years to come.
It is fantastic. What a great story.
Her reaction says
I know.
It's the whole thing.
There
right
wasn't a dry eye in that room. Go figure.
Thanks, Charlotte.
Thank you. Still to come at 4, some people like to get a base tan before going on vacation.
But is that a good idea? And does it protect your skin? Consumer Reports has some advice coming up after Dana's forecast.
Take a look at this. Everybody knows it's always nice to have a workout buddy, encouraging you to push a little harder. An exciting dog named Charlie helps motivate his owner, giving her high fives as she does sit-ups during her exercise routine at her home in California. I'm not really sure they're high fives, but...
Oh, but he's so excited.
That's very
he's
cute.
It's pretty cute.
That is pretty cute. And mom's motivated to do more.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
NASA is releasing a photo that has a lot of scientists talking.
This picture was taken by NASA's Curiosity rover, and if you look closely, you can see what appears to be a bright light on the distant horizon. That light had some enthusiasts speculating about possible signs of life on the red planet, but NASA has actually photographed a similar occurrence in the past. Curiosity captured this glow right here on Mars's horizon back in 2014. Back then, a NASA scientist tweeted that it was most likely a cosmic ray. Astronaut explained that a cosmic ray can appear as a flash of light that's not really there.
I think that's a Starbucks.
Oh, yeah.
That's a Starbucks. They're everywhere.
Walmart's trying to build one on Mars, too, I heard.
That's kind of cool.
That is,
yeah, nice little cosmic flare.
So when does the big warm-up begin?
Right now it's not too bad outside. This evening should be fine, but tomorrow we're expecting those temperatures to be in the mid-80s. That's above average, so I would say that kind of sparks the big warm-up. And then as we get into the weekend, anybody who has nice outdoor plans.
Yeah, going to a wedding.
I had to go to a wedding, yes.
Make sure you stay hydrated because it's going to be very warm outside for the end of the week and very humid also by this weekend. But we'll take a closer look at what's ahead right after the break. So right now things actually look okay outside compared to where we were at a few hours ago. It's a very different story for us. Here's a live look from our WISC-TV Skycam for us. Temperature-wise, our highest so far today, 79. That's right where we're at right now. So pretty seasonal day, actually. We dropped quite a bit when the showers came overhead. Our temperatures were closer to 70, and then in the course of about an hour and a half, we rose about 10 degrees for us. So the average high, 81. We're fairly close, and again, starting the day off at 60. Overall, can't change too much to make it any more seasonal for us. Rain showers currently moving through the lake, so we aren't seeing any rainfall even on the eastern edge of the state. That's good news for us because we did see some stronger thunderstorms pop up a few hours ago. We had reports, of course, of some very strong wind gusts and heavy rainfall in Rock County. Did have a few watches and warnings get issued, but nothing in effect for us right now, and that's the good news. The rain that did come through some isolated areas picked up over a half of an inch of rain, some very heavy rainfall again at times. And this is all at the very edge of a cold front. The good news for tomorrow, we're not looking at any rain. Your Wednesday will be the dry day for the week. We get some sunshine as high pressure briefly ridges in. The little edge of this cold front is going to continue to travel east, so we aren't going to have any more moisture slide in for us tonight more for tomorrow. But by the time we get to Thursday, this area of low pressure off to the west starts to scoot a little closer. And we're looking at scattered showers and some isolated thunderstorms for Thursday, with a slight chance also on Friday to wrap up the week. Again, right now we're at 79 degrees. It's pretty close to average for us. Once the clouds cleared out of here from the showers, the sunshine helped us warm up quite a bit, closer to 74 along the lake, a little cooler towards the lake. As far as our dew points are concerned, in the 60s, dew points lower up to the north of that cold front, and south of it we have our dew points just a little higher. So overnight we're going to become mostly clear. We're looking at a really nice day tomorrow, a partly sunny sky for us, breeze coming from the south. So temperature wise we will be above average tomorrow, and that's going to be the trend through the rest of the week and into the weekend. A very, very warm spell for us to wrap up our June and head into July. For Thursday, those showers creep closer, so we are expecting scattered showers, and again a few isolated thunderstorms possible for us on Thursday. And then for Friday, looking at more of just a slight chance for some isolated thunderstorms. Our severe weather potential for today, thankfully, really all shifted south for us, and we aren't expecting anything else to develop this evening. Tomorrow, marginal risk off to the west, nothing for us in Wisconsin, and then by Thursday, with those scattered showers developing, we do have a marginal risk for some stronger thunderstorms along the western edge of the state, really west central Wisconsin for us. A little closer look at tonight. Again, mostly clear skies expected. Temperatures will fall to the low 60s for our overnight lows. Tomorrow, partly sunny skies. Should be pleasant, should be warm though, in the mid 80s for our afternoon highs. By Thursday morning, we're dropping to the mid to upper 60s, and then in the afternoon with some clouds building in and those thunderstorm chances developing in the late afternoon and evening, high temperatures will start to reach the mid to upper 80s before the storms come through, and then that rain and cloud coverage will cool us down pretty quickly later in the evening. But as you can see, we are expecting that line to slide on in. We could see some very strong wind gusts for us later in the evening on Thursday. As far as our dew points are concerned, of course, that impacts how it feels outside. Temperatures tomorrow will be in the mid 80s. Dew points will be in the mid 60s for us. But as we head into Thursday and Friday, those dew points will start to creep into the lower 70s. It's going to feel much more humid outside for Thursday. Same goes for Friday, and especially for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Temperatures for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday will be close to 90 for us, with our heat index readings in the mid to upper 90s. It's going to be very hot and humid outside for this weekend and the start of next week. This is certainly our first very hot weekend of the summer, so we do have alert days in the forecast for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So far for the month, though, we're actually just about a degree below average. So this warm into June might just put us at least at average for our temperatures, if not maybe even a little bit above. So we'll be keeping a close eye on that temperature trend. 63 for our overnight low tonight. Again, our sky is pretty clear and temperature-wise pretty mild. Tomorrow will stay dry outside, but it is going to be warm and a little humid for us. Temperatures will be in the middle 80s for your Wednesday, and then on Thursday we're back in the middle 80s for us, but we're continuing that climb into the weekend. In the upper 80s on Friday, with just a slight chance for some thunderstorms. Saturday and Sunday, we're expecting some sunshine. Those alert days again due to the humidity that we've got to factor in with those 90-degree temperatures. So outdoor plans for this weekend, sunscreen and lots of water. Now by next week, we'll start the week off warm and humid, but for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we're looking at the chance for some showers and thunderstorms. I know that's not a deal for a 4th of July holiday, but being in the mid 80s and humid, that's pretty July-like for us. The weather for the 4th of July, we're going to try to keep those showers, of course, more in the afternoon rather than in the evening. That would be an ideal scenario.
Well, Shake the Lake is this weekend, so you'll have to be prepared for that.
Saturday night, we should be just fine as far as the rain chances are concerned, but of course it's going to be a little hot outside for us on Saturday. Hydrate for sure. Lots and lots of water.
All right. Thank you, Dana.
Thanks, Dana. Well, there are some changes in leadership for major arts programs in Madison. Just today, the Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra announced its new CEO.
Joe Lane has most recently served as the executive director of the First T program. And News 3 Now was the first to sit down with the new CEO of the Madison Ballet. Jonathan Solari directed a number of theaters and led fundraising efforts for Planned Parenthood. In his new role, he says he'll push for getting more people of all backgrounds to the ballet.
I've always been an advocate for really radical access to the arts. I think that we can look to history to understand the importance of a community engaging with arts as a part of their civic duty, and anything that we can do to make sure that there are no barriers to access.
The ballet just opened a new dance school on the west side and is expected to announce shows for the upcoming season very soon. Well, if your summer vacation plans include time out in the nice warm sun, you might be thinking of getting a base tan to help prevent sunburn.
But Consumer Reports says that could actually be doing more harm than good. Leah Lynchide reports.
True or false? A base tan is a good way to prevent sunburn?
False. I don't think that's true, but I've heard a lot of people.
Yes, true. Well, I like to do it before I go on vacation just to prevent myself from being burned. That's one less thing to worry about when I go away.
The answer, false. Having a suntan does next to nothing when it comes to protecting your skin.
A tan is actually a sign of skin damage. The sunlight can injure the DNA in skin cells, and that causes them to darken to prevent further damage. However, a base tan will give you far less protection than using sunscreen.
A better way to protect your skin is to practice safe sun strategies.
It's always a good idea to cover up with sun protective clothing and a hat, and always use a broad spectrum sunscreen of SPF 30 or higher on exposed skin. Be sure to apply it 15 minutes before you go outside and every 2 hours or after swimming or sweating heavily.
Two of Consumer Reports' top Best Buy sunscreens are Equate Walmart Ultra Lotion SPF 50 and Trader Joe's Spray SPF 50+. For News 3 Now, this is Leah Lynchide.
And remember, if you decide to get your tan the safer way by using a temporary self-tanner, remember that a fake tan offers zero protection from UV damage. So remember, you still need your sunscreen.
It's
Gives you
all
a
about
false sense of
sunscreen.
security.
It's all about sunscreen.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Well, there's more at 4. It was 10 years ago today that Michael Jackson died of an accidental drug overdose.
Can't believe it's been that long. Now, a decade later, after sexual abuse claims, many struggle with the singer's legacy. We'll have that story when Live at 4 continues.
Well, there's a Wisconsin scene right here. This is from our studios looking west. Nice clouds out there. 10 years ago today, Michael Jackson died at the age of 50 of a fatal overdose.
Now, a decade later, after persistent claims of sexual abuse, many struggle with how to view the pop star's legacy. Chris Martinez reports.
On Hollywood Boulevard's Walk of Fame, for many, Michael Jackson's star remains a must-see.
1, 2, 3.
Jamia Sanders and Stephanie Athalon are Michael Jackson's superfans who came here solely to find the singer's star. 10 years after his death, their love for Jackson is as strong as ever.
You don't just lose your love for Michael Jackson. It's something that's timeless, endless.
But for some fans, Jackson's legacy is not quite what it once was.
I was 7 years old.
Earlier this year, the HBO documentary Leaving Neverland reignited allegations that one of the best-selling artists in music history sexually abused young boys for years, claims Jackson, in life, adamantly denied. The film led to some radio stations pulling the King of Pop's music, and some fans asking if it's possible to separate the music from the man.
I think it's very confusing, and especially for someone who is so important and so still relevant musically.
Matt Donnelly is senior film writer with Variety magazine and says the documentary has cast a shadow over the anniversary of Jackson's death. Variety reports producers pulled the plug on a long-planned anniversary concert TV show, along with a musical centered around the pop star's songs.
The specificity and sort of how harrowing those accusations are over a long period of time are really devastating. So I think it's sort of, it dirties the water a lot.
Still, there are fans who will mark Jackson's death, some planning a so-called MJ Innocent Love March through Hollywood, others donating money for thousands of roses to be placed at Jackson's grave. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Michael Jackson's family has denied all of the accusations.
His estate released a statement this morning saying, in part, Michael Jackson's divine abilities remain the yardstick by which others are measured and against which today's masters still measure themselves. It's hard to believe it's 10 years ago, as you said.
Yeah.
When we come back, do robocalls drive you crazy? Well, you're not alone.
But some relief may finally be on the way. We'll tell you the federal government's plans, what they plan to do when Live at 4 continues.
right now, the eastbound side of the Beltline is the one where we're seeing the delays, of course. Also seeing a few slowdown spots along the isthmus now. No accidents to report. That's the good news for us currently. We don't have anything major right now. Looking at it again, this is our traffic camera at the Beltline and at Park Street. The eastbound side is where we have the major delays for us, but we are expecting things to, of course, continue to stay a little slow over the next several hours. Westbound also seeing a few brake lights. No accidents right now. As we take a little closer look at the isthmus, there are those slowdown spots for us. Delays along the eastbound side in the teens as far as your speeds are concerned around Fish Hatchery Road. The westbound side also seeing speeds reduced only to about 30 to 40 miles per hour though, so it's a little better than the eastbound side. Around Verona, things don't look too bad. But from Verona to get to the Beltline, it'll take you about 7 minutes, not too much longer than usual. From Oregon to the Beltline, it'll be about a 7-minute drive for you this evening, and then to get from Springfield to University Avenue should be about a 4-minute drive. So everything hovering close to where it usually is around this time of day. That's a quick look at traffic.
All right, Dana, thank you. Speaking of traffic, this little girl's reaction to being pulled over by her dad, who's a police canine officer in Florida, couldn't get any cuter. 10-month-old Taylor is in her toy car with dad's police cruiser behind her. As dad walks up, he says to her, "Excuse me, ma'am, license, registration, and proof of insurance, please." The sweet girl starts laughing at her dad, to which he responds, "I don't think this is a laughing matter," which only produced more adorable laughter.
It's very cute.
She is cute. Well, the government is set to unveil a major crackdown on a problem almost every American deals with: illegal robocalls.
The Federal Trade Commission is teaming up with the Department of Justice and state attorneys general to file charges against a number of companies and individuals.
Anna Warner has more.
It's the ringing in your ears everyone dreads. Robocalls the government says number in the tens of billions every year.
This is an important message regarding your current credit card account.
Joining forces to find solutions are FTC Commissioner Rebecca Kelly Slaughter, a Democrat, and fellow Commissioner Noah Phillips, a Republican.
There's no disagreement. There's no political difference here.
None whatsoever. Robocalls are not just an annoyance that every single American feels several times a day. They can be a real problem for the people who do pick up the phone and sometimes fall victim to those kinds of scams.
The FTC is announcing a major crackdown on illegal robocalls, including 94 actions targeting operations around the country they say are responsible for more than 1 billion calls.
I think it is an extremely important issue. We feel pressure externally, we feel pressure and responsibility internally, and we want to rise to it.
The FTC says companies targeted in the enforcement actions were using robocalls to pitch everything from bogus credit card interest rate reduction services to fraudulent money-making opportunities and medical alert systems.
Do you think you're going to be able to fix it, though? I mean, what they're doing is illegal. Much of it comes from overseas. How do you even stop that?
So today, announcing Operation Call It Quits is part of the solution to the problem. It is not the whole of the solution. It's going to take engagement from industry. It's going to take technological development. It's going to take engagement from consumers, which we at the FTC also try to do. And the hope is, through all of these combined efforts, we can help push back.
Our job at the FTC is to enforce the law that we have, and that is the thing that I think we are very, very actively focused on doing here.
Experts applaud the joint law enforcement efforts, but say the dampening effect on illegal robocalls may only be temporary. Alex Quilici is CEO of the call-blocking company Umail.
When there's a crackdown or an enforcement action, you see fewer robocalls from the people who were cracked down on. They usually stop. The challenge is they're replaced by someone else who often does the same scam.
It often feels like whack-a-mole for us, but when we whack-a-mole, we are stopping a substantial number of cases of a number of unwanted calls, and that's important to me.
You know, you don't even want to answer your phone anymore.
No, it's true. Do you get a lot on your cell phone?
Yeah, I get a lot. I got one from my number.
Oh, that's right. Remember
they
that?
ghosted my own number.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, it really is. Hopefully we'll have some relief. Look at a final check of your forecast coming up.
Right.
So it looks like the rain is done for a while.
Yes, yes. We at least get about a 24-hour break for us, which is nice. We did, of course, have some stronger thunderstorms slide through earlier this afternoon. Here's a look at our loop for the last 6 hours. Most of the heavier rain actually staying south of us, but we did see some of those stronger storms pop up in Rock County, of course, triggering that warning and the watch for us. In Rock County, Walworth County, now that watch well to the south. No concerns for this evening. Doppler track looks nice and clear. Temperature-wise, pretty close to average, actually. We're at 79 in Madison right now, 81 in Mineral Point and in Platteville. Janesville also at 81 degrees compared to this time yesterday. Quite a jump in our temperatures. About 11-degree jump for us in Madison and Dubuque, and about a 15-degree jump for us in Monroe. Overall, through the rest of this evening, plan on those temps just continuing actually to stay close to average. We're going to fall through the 70s over the next few hours, and overnight we'll fall through the 60s. So plan on being in the low 60s early tomorrow. And then the thing is, guys, we're just going to continue to get warm through the rest of the week. Temperatures are going to be in the mid 80s and then the upper 80s and then 90 for us by the weekend. So summer is here, and summer's going to stay for a little bit with us. It's coming along with the heat and, of course, the humidity.
This seems warm today, but it's average. It's been so cool.
Yeah, exactly.
So cool.
Exactly.
Right. A jump into the 80s. It feels like we're on a little heat wave right now.
That's where it should be.
It's where we should be. So once we hit the weekend, that's when that heat wave's really going to kick off for us.
All right, good stuff.
We've been warned. Thank you, Dana. Tomorrow here on Live at 4, Facebook has a new currency. We'll find out what it is and why some people are leery of it.
And the Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra's Concerts on the Square kickoff for another season tomorrow. We'll have a preview coming up tomorrow on Live at 4. In today's Final Touch, a found Facebook post allows a woman to visit her past.
And then bring a prized possession back with her. A lifetime Volkswagen fan from New Jersey used the power of social media as a time machine to bring back a blast from her past. Amanda Dorsett has owned nearly a dozen VWs, but it all started with her first, a 1975 Purple Beetle she drove